Oh, this is gonna be such a cool project. Okay, so a lot of you requested Pickle Rick in a rat suit after doing Rick and Morty from Rick and Morty, the series. And I love those models, and fortunate enough, because I didn't think I would be able to find a good model of Pickle Rick in a rat suit, and fortunate enough, a guy from Argentina, Martin, I believe his name was, he sent me the files for Pickle Rick in a rat suit, and it looks absolutely awesome. His model is a banger, to be honest. It's gonna be a really difficult model to print, so I'm just gonna focus, instead of printing all this stuff in just one go, I will remove the laser, I will remove both arms and the battery and whatever this is, and just focus on getting his body good for a start, and printing the other stuff later in a separate print. So a 3D printer basically works by putting down very fine layers that builds upon each other, and that's where this is going to be really difficult, because let me show you here. So just like I said, the printer works by putting down very fine layers, and as you can see, when it comes to this point, it's gonna have a really hard time putting down these layers because there's nothing to build upon, right? It doesn't have anything to build of. So in this problem, it just resonates throughout the entire print. There's so much detail and so many places where we will need to use something called supports. So this grayish structure is called support structure, and it basically helps the 3D printer to print the areas where it would normally just print in the air, just like you can see right here. The gray structure is not actually connected to the object, so it breaks off really easily. It's just helping printing those structures or the part of the object that normally would be printed in the air, and that's why you have to use this gray support structure. It's gonna add a bunch of time, it's gonna add a lot of plastic, so it's just, you don't want to have support structures really, but in this case we don't have a choice. And just to clarify, this is not the support structure that I'm gonna use. I will have to add my own support structure because the software is not smart enough. For example, here we will need to add more support structures, otherwise that will start to fall down. So I just felt like I wanted to explain, because everyone may not know how a 3D printer actually works and how the software functions and such. So I will go ahead and add those support structures, and I'll see you again in a second. This is one of the more complicated objects I've ever printed. Alright, let me just grab the SD card. Alright, let's pray for this to work. Let's do it.
Pickle Rick!
Very nice, but all of this felt very repetitive, and that's why I decided to just work past basically the entire pre-process, because that's gonna be really confusing for someone who hasn't seen my previous videos. And just to quickly cover what I have done, I printed Rick and Morty and they turned out really good. Rick here, I just painted straight on the 3D print. I 3D printed him and then I applied all the paint. Morty, as you hopefully can see, looks a lot better. I 3D printed Morty. I used something called Sprutspackle, which basically translates to spray spackle, or is a primer filler. And then I applied the paint and he looks just way better. So that's what I have done here. And that's what I have done with all the parts of Pickle Rick. We got his arms, the laser, random parts, and the Pickle Rick. Let's measure him, because I know that's gonna be interesting. He is 410 millimeters tall, printed on the Creality CR-10 with a maximum printing height of 400 millimeters. Magic. I 3D printed all the parts on the Creality CR-10S 3D printer. So a new 3D printer that did an amazing job, especially on the bottom, not so much on the top, but that was I kind of figured that it would do a poor job on the top because it's so tall that it starts to shake once it gets to the higher altitudes. And the shaking makes each layer a little bit more offset than the other, and it gets all choppy, which is not good. Before even applying the spray spackle, I used sandpaper to remove the most profound imperfections, and once I was done with that, I used the spray spackle and applied about 3 coats before I started sanding, and now it's smooth as... yeah, I don't know, but something that is really, really smooth. But now we are ready to start painting, so that will be really interesting. Let's get started. I'll have to look up a bunch of different pictures, but if we can get something even remotely similarly resemblance of this, I'll be pretty happy. Alright, first stroke is always pretty nerve-wracking. There we have it. Ben Lapache, it would be cool to make lithophane Christmas decoration bells that can go over white Christmas lights. And I agree, for such a long time I've been wanting to do so much more with lithophanes. If you don't know what that is, I'll post a picture right here. It's basically a 3D printed parts that, it's basically a picture that you 3D print, and when you have a light source behind the lithophane, the image appears very nicely on the 3D print, and it's awesome. And what I've been wanting to do for a long time is make basically a globe that is, well, I've been thinking the world map. So you have a world map on the globe, and you can use it as a lampshade. So that would be an upgrade to my previous video. But that's an awesome idea, Ben, and I will definitely do more lithophanes in the future. Mark, not even gonna try the last name. How long does a print normally take? And I couldn't possibly tell you, but I can show you a couple of prints just to show you some examples. 50 hours, 30 hours, 35 hours, 15 hours per tire, scaled up a bench boat, 1.5 hours, drone arm, 20 minutes, 120 hours for football, made from flexible filaments. And yes, it does work. The reason it takes such a long time to print something like this is because it's not hollow. It does have a very interesting lattice inside, and it did mess up on the bottom, unfortunately, but what's cool is that it does work. CGTR, please do a review on the Tivo Tornado and a comparison with the Creality CR-10. I am working on it. I'm actually working on a new comparison video where I just sit down and talk about every single printer. I do have a couple of new ones, like the Creality CR-10S, I have the Tivo Tornado, I have one here, a Delta printer, the Make Block, and also a small one called the Snapmaker, the Anet E10, the Tivo Black Widow. So yeah, I'm working on it. If you are looking for a 3D printer, you definitely don't want to miss that video. I always have a picture to go from, so it's not like I'm guessing the colors. And right now I'm applying the second layer of green, and that's what usually takes a long time, just applying all the coats. What also takes a long time is the transition between two colors. where the two colors meet. Let me see if I can find a good area here. Where the two colors meet, you always have to do like a transition, and here I put a little bit more redness, so it looks like it's kind of like dug in the bone, and a little bit more blood on that spot. So that's where I put a lot of time and effort into painting these models, just making them look realistic, basically. So yeah, that's where I am right now, just applying the coats, and I do a pretty sloppy job just to get the coats done, and then I work on the transitions between the two colors. I don't get too many questions about this, but I feel it's valid to tell you in every video that I'm using acrylic paints, just the standard kind of paints you can find in any store, and just a normal brush, nothing too fancy. Let's see here, your phone is a Mi Mix 2. No, this is the all original Mi Mix, Xiaomi Mi Mix. I got it mostly because I fly a lot of these things, the drones, and you connect your phone to the controller in order to display the footage that the drone sees, and I just hate having a small screen, and this is a 6.4 inch 2K display, so it's really nice, and I love it for the drone shots. The size of this is just ridiculous. It doesn't fit any of my pockets. It's really big and bulky, and the speakers and the camera is not, you know, it's pretty dookie. So, but I mean, it's a nice phone. It really is. I really appreciate all your questions, but now I'm gonna go full beast mode and just focus on getting this Pickle Rick finished up. I still have the laser to paint as well, so it's quite a bit of work left. So let's speed this up, and hopefully we will have a Pickle Rick done pretty soon. All right, let's do this. I am done. It's all the pieces, a laser, a battery, a cable, I guess, the two arms, and the body of Pickle Rick. And I'm hyped. I just want to do a big reveal. I just want to show you all the awesomeness that is Pickle Rick. So let's just get started.
Pickle Rick!
Things you can do with a 3D printer, and I have to say I'm stoked by the results. So Rick was the first one of these three we printed and painted, and I didn't really know what to do, you know. I just 3D printed it and started painting. And on Morty we took a little bit more care, and we used the spray spackle as I showed you before. And just the past experience of doing these two, I just combined everything together on this Pickle Rick, and yeah, I don't know, he looks great. That's what I'm trying to say here. Though I'm not sure I will be even using the laser. To me, that just looks like a block of something, you know? It's just blocking a lot of Pickle Rick. I don't know. To be honest, I don't think it looks all that great. Well, first of all, the quality of this laser got pretty messed up because I had to print it upside down, so the supports messed up the screws. It looks pretty terrible, and the spray spackle is great on surfaces that's already pretty smooth, so it makes a good print even better, but it doesn't make a bad print good. So I don't know, I don't think I managed to make the best of the laser. I don't think it looks all that great, so I'll probably just put this aside and use Pickle Rick as he is right now. The total time of painting, I believe, was around 30-35 hours. So thank you all very much for watching, and please just take a second to go ahead and click the thumbs up. It just helps me out. It's a way to support my channel. So have an awesome day. Bye.